All right. Welcome, welcome. My name is Brenda Carey. Oop, I've hit the got it button. And welcome to you at home. This is Gentle Noon Yoga, and I promise you it will be gentle. We're just going to start standing. We'll work our way down to the mat. I know usually I get the grumpy looks right about now, like, oh, to make us start standing. I'm doing this because if you haven't noticed, it's quite windy outside. This is my reminder that we're not that far from Wyoming, and it's true. So if you're just joining us at home, a couple of blocks, maybe a bolster. We are going to use the bolster at the end of class for some nice, juicy, restorative postures. I can grab you a bolster, but we're going to start standing. So I want you to peek down at your feet, make them about hip width apart. Pick up the toes and spread them. So you really feel grounded and rooted. Oh, here you go. And then once you pick the toes up and spread them, set them back down. Kind of really feel this downward motion, feeling you rooted to the earth. So when you start to feel a bit windy, and I do think that when we do have these strong winds, it affects our mind. Our mind becomes a little windy, so to speak, or if a little scattered, if you have a hard time making decisions today, it does affect us on this very subtle level. So we are going to just really feel strong and rooted. You have long roots, your whole legs, your hips. So just kind of feel that. And then once you feel really solid in your feet, roll the shoulders back and down, maybe a big sigh or a big exhale. You have arrived. Sometimes that is the most challenging part, just getting yourself here. If you're comfortable, close the eyes down or bring a soft gaze in front of you, just so you're not looking all around. Let your eyes settle. We spend enough time using our vision to navigate our world. We're just going to focus a little more inward. Feel the crown of your head just kind of rise up toward the sky. And what I'd like for you to do is just make your own little bit of wind. So kind of rock onto one foot so that one foot feels a little bit heavier, and then go to the other side. And just kind of bring weight to one sole of the foot and the other until you bring equal weight into both feet. Maybe even rock a little forward and back as well until you find that sort of perfect equilibrium and you feel sturdy and strong. Be mindful not to lock out the knees. So put a little soft bend in the knees. Feel your tailbone draw down. You're not tucking it under, but just enough so you feel those lower core muscles feel firm and supporting your low back. And now we get to slow down the breath and make it a little bit deeper. So when you inhale, feel as if you're filling up your whole belly first. Expand through the rib cage. Move it up into the heart, keeping the shoulders relaxed. And then slow exhale. Can you make your exhale even slightly longer than your inhale? And keep with that slow, mindful breath. Couple more times, inhaling and exhaling. Feel as if when you exhale, it's coming down out the soles of your feet, down into the earth. One more breath. Inhale, drawing up from the soles of the feet. Exhale, even slower than your inhale. And then you can keep the eyes closed or you can blink them softly open. On your next inhale, we're going to sweep the arms out and up, fill up all that space around you. Fingertips to sky. Exhale, press the hands together, draw it down to the heart space. When your hands come to the heart space, this is your opportunity to set an intention. Just a simple word or a phrase, something positive you wish to cultivate in your life, even when the winds of change come and go, knowing that you are strong and rooted and you can stay centered. with a deeper breath. And soles of the feet rooted into the earth as your signal of support. Exhale, saying your intention. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up again. Fill up all that space. This time, bend the elbows, cactus the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, open the heart. One full cycle of breath here. Inhale and exhale. Maybe the gaze comes up. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, just like that. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, arms reach back up. Exhale, hands to heart. Excellent. And we'll add on. Inhale, sweep, arms out and up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, arms reach up. A little bit different this time. Open arm twist to the right. So the right arm comes back, left arm comes forward. Hips stay squared forward. So if you find that your whole body is twisting, keep just the upper body. Extend hand to hand. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. Fingertips reach up to the sky. Cactus the arms again. Inhale, arms reach back up. And then open arm twist to the left. Left arm comes back. Hips stay squared forward. Gaze comes to that backhand. One cycle of breath. Inhale, sweep the arms back to center. This time, exhale, hands come to heart center in a fold forward. Deeper bend in the knees. Just allow your upper body to hang. If you'd like, you can use one of those blocks underneath the hands to rest your hands. Helps rise up the floor. Option to sway side to side if you would like. You can straighten one leg and then the other, just different options. Be mindful of your tension in the neck. Maybe shake out the head a little bit if that feels good. Draw awareness to your jaw. You're holding tension in your jaw. Make some little wiggle movements if that feels good. Or can you just allow any tension to roll off your back, down into the earth, and let Mother Nature absorb it? One more deep breath. Big inhale. Big exhale. On the inhale, let the arms hang or place them on the thighs. We're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Arrive back in your nice, strong mountain, strong roots. And we'll add on. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, fingertips reach back up. This time we're going to exhale, fold forward right away. Land the hands down. We're going to step the right leg back. So your right leg's going to take this big step back. You could place those blocks underneath your hands if you'd like for a little lift in your upper body. We're going to come into a low lunge. So bring the back knee down. Look at your front leg. Just see if the ankle and knee are in alignment. We just don't want the knee forward of the ankle. Blocks can be on any height that you would like, just to bring a little lift into your spine. Back toes could be tucked or untucked. Couple deep breaths here. Again, you could close the eyes if you'd like. You could just allow the gaze to settle on one point. We do enough scrolling through our day that it's nice to have the eyes settle down. Sure. Helps to have two blocks. Now you're welcome to stay right here with the hands on the blocks, or if you'd like, you can bring the hand to that upper thigh. Option to bring fingertips up above if you would like instead for something more active, but it's up to you. It's a gentle class. You get to determine what gentle means. Deep belly breaths here. Stay for one more inhale. And then we'll reach the arms up if they're not already. We're going to do our open arm twist to the left here. So left arm comes back, right arm comes forward. Kind of extend hand to hand like it's coming from your heart. Exhale fully. Inhale, sweep back through center, one breath in. And then exhale, hands land down. blocks or the mat, tuck those back toes, pick up the back knee. You're gonna step up. Right foot meets left. Hang in your forward fold here. Sway it out if you would like. Use the block underneath your hands. Where can you release a little more tension? Maybe it's in the eyes. Maybe you blink the eyes. Let the tension in the forehead go. Exhale it out. From here, hands land down, and we're gonna step the left leg back this time. Again, hands could be on blocks or they could be on the mat. Bring your gaze forward, left knee comes down this time. Peek at your front ankle and knee line up, just so the the knee isn't forward of the ankle. We're gonna hold this hip flexor stretch on this side. Blocks could be at any position you would like. You could close the eyes down, could bring a soft gaze. Just allowing that left hip flexor to open. One more deep breath here. And then same options as before. Hands could stay rooted on the blocks. Hands could come up on the top thigh, or you could reach the fingertips up overhead. You decide. On your next inhale, arms extend up if they're not already. Open arm twist to the right. So the right arm shifts back, left arm shifts forward. Look at that back hand. Extend hand to hand. Stay open in the chest. Stay strong in your roots and your legs. Exhale it out. Inhale, sweep back through center. And then exhale, hands land down. We'll move the blocks off to the side. Pick up the back knee, step up, left foot meets right. Hanging in your forward fold. Just kind of notice how the hip flexors feel. You brought a little more openness. Bend the knees a little bit more deeply if you need. And then exhale, fold in maybe a tiny bit more. And then on your next inhale, rolling up, arms can hang long or they can be placed on your thighs for support. We'll meet back in our mountain. Shoulders release back and down. Nice. Saying your intention to yourself, breathe it in. Exhale out. We'll begin some sun cells. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the heart to the sky. What can you be open to receive? Inhale, fingertips reach back up. Exhale as you forward fold. Plant the hands, right leg takes that big step back. Option to place blocks underneath the hands if you would like. We're gonna keep that back knee up this time. Inhale, bring the heart and gaze forward. Exhale, straighten the front leg, folding in. You can have a deeper bend in that front left knee if you need. One more breath. Exhale it out first. On the inhale, bend into that front knee again. From here, we're gonna move the blocks off to the side. Use your hands on the mat, step back into a plank. Now keep in mind, plank can be with knees down if you would prefer. If you're feeling a little stronger, both knees could be up. It's totally up to you. Gather your belly button toward your spine. One deep breath here. Stay for an inhale. And then exhale, we're gonna lower all the way down to the belly, elbows squeezing. Release your toes. Walk your hands up by your face. We're coming into Sphinx from here. So press up so your elbows slide underneath your shoulders. Chest comes through. So if this is still too much on the low back, feel free to walk the elbows more forward. Just be mindful the shoulders don't crunch in. You can close the eyes down if you'd like. We're here for a couple breaths. One more inhale. On the exhale, lowering down, hands slide back underneath the shoulders. We're going to press back into our table, come into table. And we're going to do our cat cows from here. Line up your wrists and your shoulders. We'll inhale, drop the belly, shift the gaze forward. Whenever you're ready to exhale, round it out. Chin tucks into the chest. Just move at your pace. So it might be different than mine or your neighbors. Just really getting into some spinal movement, working out any kinks you have along the back or the side body. Couple more rounds here. And we'll come back into that neutral table position. From your neutral table position, I want you to walk your hands about a handprint in front towards the top of the mat. This is going to set us up for downward facing dog. Tuck both your toes, spread them, and then bring the hips high up and back. It's going to be here for a few breaths. And if downward dog just feels a little too much for today, feel free to come into child's pose with knees wide, hips sink back to the heels. So just know you have those options, and child's pose is always an option at any point. You feel like you need a little rest. And then from your downward facing dog, let's lift both heels and baby step your way up to meet your hands, however many steps it takes. Exhale it out. Inhale, rolling on up. Arms reach out and up toward the sky. Bend the elbows, cactus the arms, open the heart. Inhale, fingertips reach back up. And then exhale, forward fold. Land the hands down on the mat. This time, step the left leg back. Again, option to use blocks underneath the hands if you would like. Inhale here, back knee stays up. And then straighten that front leg as you exhale, folding forward. Let the head and neck relax, maybe shake it out. Exhale fully. Inhale, bend into that front knee. Just move the blocks off to the side. Hands come to the mat, stepping back into your version of plank again. That could be with knees down. If you're feeling strong, that could be with knees up. Either way, gather all of that core energy, belly button to spine. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, lowering all the way down to the mat. Release the toes. We're going to do 3 baby cobras. So inhale, lift the chest, elbows squeeze in. Exhale to lower. 2 more times at your own pace. So again, might be different than mine. When you finished your 3rd baby cobra, tucking the toes, pressing back, coming into our tabletop position again. Line up the wrists and the shoulders, knees stacked over hips. And then this time you can start with those traditional cat-cows if you would like, or maybe you add some side-to-side movements or rolling movements through the hips. It's kind of a yogi's choice, whatever feels good, where you feel you need to work out some tighter spots, maybe get the head and neck involved. Really find your deep breath to dictate the pace of your movement. begin to even out from both sides. So if you're moving side to side, just so you have an equal number of times between left and right. And again, we'll meet back in our tabletop position. From tabletop, again, let's flatten the low back by drawing the belly button toward the spine. So it's not rounding, but just a nice strong core. Let's extend the right leg long. Flex the right foot so all toes point down toward the mat. Your option would be to stay right here or lift the opposite left arm toward knee into your balanced table. So again, left hand could be down, arm could be lifted. Breath is strong and fluid. Stay for one more inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, bringing that knee and left hand down. Come back to that strong neutral table. Same thing on the other side. Extend the left leg long, flex the left foot. Toes point down toward the mat. Option stay right here, or option lift the right arm towards the front of the room. Staying strong in the core, but soft and fluid in your breath. One more inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hand and knee come back down. From here, bring the knees wide, child's pose, big toes come together as you sink back. Forehead rests on something. Might be your mat, it might be a block, or stack the hands if you'd like. Settle in here. Bring back your intention. Say it to yourself. Our thoughts are some of the most powerful energy we have, just as the wind is. And keep the knees and hips just as they are. You're going to walk your hands off the right side of the mat. Left hip comes toward left heel. Opening up this left side body. So really use your inhale to create a little bit more space between each rib bone on that left side. Let the head relax back down. Forehead touches on the floor or a block. Exhale it out. On the inhale, walk the hands back through center, and the hands come off the left side of the mat. Right hip shifts towards right heel. Head lands back down, and then breathe into your right rib cage. Creating a little bit more openness and space on this side. One more breath. On your next inhale, hands walk back through center, neutral child's pose, one breath. And then on the inhale, rising back up through table just momentarily. Bring the knees in, and we're going to lower all the way down onto our bellies. So coming onto your belly, bring one ear to the mat, arms long by your side. Pause here for a moment. Kind of shift the hips a little side to side. Notice if you're still carrying any tension in the hips or the low back. I'm going to work our way down. So we're going to start with the chest. So I'm going to have you bring your right arm out to like a half T position. And then the left hand is going to come underneath the left shoulder. And we're going to press into that left hand, coming onto that right shoulder, opening up the chest. Different options with the legs. Depending on your shoulder openness, you could have the legs stacked. If you have a little bit more openness, the top leg could bend so that left knee is bending and you're placing that left foot behind the right leg. Couple more deep breaths here. On your next exhale, coming back onto the belly slowly. And then bring that right arm long by you. Left hand is going to extend out to a half T. Bring that right hand underneath the right shoulder. And then turning onto that left shoulder, right hip comes up toward the sky. Same options with the legs as before. You could stack them. You bring the top leg behind, bending the knee. One more breath. On your exhale, slowly releasing. Bringing both arms long by the side. And from here, coming into locust. Arms are going to stay long by the side. Think of this as just a baby locust, or you could come into cobra if you prefer the support of the hands. On an inhale, we're just going to lightly lift the chest and the legs, arms shoot back towards the feet. Stay for one more inhale. And exhale, softly lower down, other ear to the mat. Option to bend the knees and tick-tock the feet from one side to the other. And then legs float softly down. One breath here. Exhale it out. Feel your connection, heart to the earth. And then hands come underneath the shoulders, press back to your child's pose. Hips come to the ankles. One breath here, say your intention. And then hands walk back towards yourself, coming into a kneeling posture just momentarily. Option to use a block and sit on the block if that's more comfortable for the knees. Or you can always come to a cross-legged. So let's roll the shoulders back and down. Draw the tailbone down so you're zipping up your core just so the belly doesn't stick out. So keep that core integrity. Arms come long by the side, dropping right ear to the right shoulder. Allow that left side of the neck to lengthen. Letting go of that weight of the world that we tend to accumulate on our neck and upper back. And then ever so slowly dipping the chin downward. Just kind of moving inch by inch. So eventually moving through the center of the chest. Pause there if you need, tucking the chin tightly into the chest. And then rolling up the opposite left side. Notice the spots that feel a little more sticky or a little more tight. Eventually, left ear comes to left shoulder. Pause there. And then coming back to a spot where you noticed that felt really tight, can you go back and revisit that spot? Maybe it's at the center of the chest. Maybe it was one side feels a little tighter than the other. Can you come back and stay present, even in that tension, without judging it anything, just noticing it, just breathing with it. One more full and deep breath. Exhale it out. And then slowly bringing the head back to neutral. Nice. And then let's come on to our seats. So just shift off onto your seat. If you'd like, sitting on the edge of a blanket. So if you have really tight hips or low back that feels sensitive, you could even sit on your bolster if you want even a little bit more height. And we'll crisscross the legs. Root down through the sit bones. I promise we'd be on the floor soon. Again, roll the shoulders back and down. Feel the sits bones root down, but the spine is nice and tall. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, right hand comes down, leaning over to the right. Root down through both sit bones. One deep breath here. And then inhale, bottom arm reaches up. And then other side, left hand comes down, leaning left. And then inhale, bottom arm reaches up. This time we're in a forward fold. So hands just land down in front of you and folding in. Again, you could use a block if you would like to rise up the floor and place your forearms on it. Let the head and neck relax. And then your choice, you could stay stationary if you feel like you would rather be more stable, or you could rock a little side to side if that feels better. Couple more full and deep breaths. Exhale all the way out first. And on the inhale, engage your core, lifting your torso back up, fingertips reach up to the sky. And we'll circle the hands behind you. And then either clasp opposite elbows or interlace the hands. Roll the shoulders back and down and move the hands or elbows away, opening up the chest. Maybe the gaze comes up. It's just an option. That doesn't work for the neck. You can look straight forward. One more deep breath. On your next exhale, releasing the hands and then bringing them just behind you, just enough to lean back and switch the cross of the legs. So opposite leg in front. Root down through the sit bones. Come back to your neutral spine, nice and tall. Crown of the head rises toward the sky. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. This time twisting to the right, opposite hand to knee. Look over that back shoulder. Deep belly breath here, in and out. Inhale through center, rotate back. And then other side, looking over the back shoulder once again. Deep belly breath. Inhale, sweeping through center. And this time forward fold again, hands come down, folding in. Again, you can use a block if you would like. Option to be stationary, be still. Option to shift side to side if you would like. One more cycle of breath. Be patient with yourself here. Exhale it out first. And on the inhale, rising back up. Fingertips reach up toward the sky. And then circle the hands back. This time, land the hands down behind you on the ground. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Bring the heart up toward the sky. Maybe the gaze comes up as well. Option to lift the hips and come up onto the knees. That's just an option. You can keep the sit bones rooted if you would prefer. Stay for one more breath. And then on your exhale, if your hips are lifted, lower them down. We'll just come back to our neutral seat. From here, let's extend both legs long. Kind of move my friend calls this marshmallow fluff out of the way. I thought that was cute. So move the little fluff out of the way. If you have tight hamstrings, deeper bend in the knee is always great. Keep the legs active though, so they just don't flop out. Flex the feet, make muscles with the legs. We'll inhale, sweep the arms up. And then with a nice tall spine, you're gonna lean forward. So for some of you, that might be an inch. That's totally fine. The knees need to bend more, that's fine. Inhale, lengthen one more time. And then exhale, now fold. You can round the upper back if you would like. Relaxing the head and neck. Hands just land where they may. Maybe they're at the soles of the feet, maybe not, maybe the ankles, maybe the shins. Doesn't really matter. One more cycle of breath. Exhale all the way out so there's no air left in the belly. And then inhale with your nice tall spine rising back up. Fingertips reach up to the sky. And then exhale, the hands are going to land down. From here, we're going to come into a supported supine twist. So grab your bolster. And you're going to line up your bolster parallel with your mat towards the front of your mat. So pretend this is the front of my mat. You're going to take your right hip and place it right up against the edge of the bolster, just like so. So your knees are out in front. So you kind of create an L from the edge of the bolster to the top of your thigh with your right hip on the mat. And then you're going to rotate so your whole torso, one hand comes on each side of your bolster, and then walk your torso on down. This will give a nice lower back twist. Right ear comes down first, and just kind of feel that out. If you would like more of a neck rotation, you can turn the head, placing the left ear onto the mat. It's just an option. Kind of decide what feels best. And then here's what I call the unraveling process. So I want you to draw your awareness to your legs and see if you can just allow gravity to just send that energy down. You don't need to support anything. So we're unraveling from our root on up. So let your hips settle. Let your low back release. Sometimes I'll even hear like a little. We're just surrendering down, down, down. And then travel your awareness up your spine to your mid back. Is there any place that needs to soften? And then to your upper back behind the back of the heart, so where the shoulder blades are. And an exhale, can you let your upper back soften, let the shoulders drop down. The neck relaxes, the back of the head even. And as we hold this posture for several more breaths, this now becomes your opportunity, once you've stilled the body, to begin to bring awareness to your mind and the thoughts that float through. The deepest practice in yoga is not so much the physical postures, but is the awareness and witnessing the thoughts in the mind. Once you realize that you are not those thoughts or those feelings that drift through, that is when yoga begins. Postures just help us release some of the physical tension so we can release mental tension. Few more full and deep breaths. Again, this process of surrendering and letting go. Final cycle of breath. Big inhale first. And a full exhale. On your next inhale, press weight into the palms of the hands and begin to walk your hands back toward yourself. Once you're upright, we're just going to do a gentle twist over to the left, kind of a counter twist. Look over that back shoulder. And then from here, we're going to keep turning to the left. So you turn your whole body, and then the left hip comes to the edge of your bolster, just coming onto the other side. Setting yourself up for the twist on this side. So again, you're rotating one hand on each side of the bolster. And as you walk your torso on down, lengthen, lengthen. And then left ear comes to your bolster. Test that out and see if you would like to turn your neck so that the right ear comes to the bolster. And you're settling in here. And the same unraveling process begins, being patient with yourself. Allow the legs to feel heavy, the weight of gravity drawing it down, down, down. And then on the next exhale, drawing awareness to the hips. Are you still holding on some tension there? And without any judgment, just noticing it and allowing that surrendering process to draw the hips and the low back down. And then continuing your awareness up the spine to the middle of the back. Noticing your breath. Noticing its effortless wave, ebb and flow. Bringing your awareness to the back of the heart, the upper back. Allow your shoulders to soften down. So much so you feel that gentle pull downward all the way down your arms out to your fingertips. Neck is relaxed. Back of head. A few more deep breaths, just as you are. Noticing the mind when it pops in. Saying your intention when you need a focal point to bring yourself back to this moment. One more full cycle of breath. Deepest one yet. Big inhale, inhale. Full exhale. And press out all the air so there's no air left in the belly. Begin to feel weight into the palms of the hands. And then slowly rise on up. Take your time. Walking your hands back toward yourself. And then just a gentle counter twist over to the right. So twisting to the right, looking over the back shoulder. And then coming back to center, we're just gonna move the bolster off the mat. Move it off to the side, and we're gonna meet down on our backs. Have one block nearby. You may or may not use it, but roll down onto your back. Once you get there, tuck the knees into your chest. Kind of massage out the low back. That twist is deceptively deep. Maybe make some circles, rock side to side if that feels good. We'll get into our legs and hips just a little bit more. So let's keep the right knee hugged in toward the chest. Extend the left leg long onto the mat. A little bit of action in that left leg. So flex the left foot, make a muscle with that left thigh. And then from here, interlace the hands behind the right hamstring and extend that right leg up. And then begin to pick a direction to rotate the ankle. Doesn't matter which direction you start with. Spread the toes. And then reverse the direction. And then just allow that foot to soften. See if you can draw that right leg in maybe a centimeter more toward yourself. If not, that's fine. One more deep breath. And then exhale, bend that right knee back in toward your chest. We're gonna bend the left knee now, placing the left sole of the foot onto the mat, coming into a figure 4 stretch. So you're gonna externally rotate that right hip so the outside of the right ankle is on that left thigh. Option to stay right here with the left foot planted, or you can pick up the left foot, weave the hands through, interlace the hands at the left hamstring or shin. Getting deeper into that right hip. Couple more full and deep breaths. On your next exhale, release the hands, drop that left foot down if you've lifted it, and we'll uncross that right leg. So both soles of the feet are on the mat, knees are bent. Bring the feet about mat width, so wider than hip width. We're just gonna tick-tock the knees from one side to the other. And the knees float back through center. And this time we're gonna gather the left knee in toward the chest, interlace the hands, Extend the right leg long, keeping that right foot flexed. Make a muscle with that right thigh to keep it active. And then interlace the hands behind that left hamstring, and we're going to extend the left leg long up toward the sky. Again, option to rotate the ankle, just pick a direction to start. Reverse the direction of the ankle rotation. And allow that foot to relax. See if you can draw that left leg in just a tiny bit more toward yourself. And then bend that left knee, draw it back in, and then figure four. So we're bending the right knee, placing the right sole of the foot onto the mat to start. Externally rotate that left hip so the outer left ankle is on the right thigh. Right foot could be planted, or you could pick it up, weave the hands through, interlacing at either the right hamstring or shin. Spending several breaths here, opening up this left hip. And as before, this is your opportunity to begin to witness the thoughts that come in and out. Maybe you choose to say your intention to bring you back to this moment. Couple more full and deep breaths. Where can you soften even a little bit more? Maybe it's even in the face. Then release the hands, bring that right foot back down, uncross the legs. Again, feet come wide, about mat width apart. You're gonna tick-tock the knees one side to the other. Even out from side to side. And the knees float back to center. Grab your block. We are coming into a restorative bridge. So begin by walking the heels back a bit so that the knees and the ankles are in a straight line. And then on an inhale, you're gonna lift the hips up just enough to slide the block, either the first or the second height, not the skinny third height. That's just a little much, I think. And allow your sacrum, so where that tailbone is, to rest on the block. This is nice, gentle inversion. Option to stay right here, exactly as you are in this restorative bridge, or begin to pick up one leg, the other leg, so that your legs are up, soles of the feet toward the sky. Again, just an option with the legs up. You can always have the soles of the feet planted. Give yourself a couple more breaths here. And then if the legs are up, begin to bend the knees in, dropping one foot down and then the other. Give yourself a moment to feel the soles of the feet onto the mat, sinking into the earth. And when you feel ready, lift the hips up just enough to slide the block out and then lowering the hips down, one vertebrae at a time. And yogi's choice for final posture. Maybe you would like to bring the soles of the feet together, the knees wide in a butterfly shape. Maybe you'd prefer happy baby with soles of the feet up toward the sky, or any other posture that would make your practice fully complete. When you are ready, entering into your Shavasana, your full resting pose. Option to straighten the legs, let the feet just flop out. Allow that pull of the earth to draw you down to help you feel supported. And I will call you out with a chant when it is time. I see myself in joy and love. I know myself myself. I am enough. I see myself in joy and love. I know myself. I am enough. I am enough. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Drawing in a deep, deep breath. And bringing in some small movement with your deeper breathing. And a little bit bigger movement, bringing yourself back into this sacred space. And eventually finding yourself either rolling to one side or rolling up to a seated posture where we will close out our practice. Bringing hands together at heart center, pulling in that intention that you set at the beginning of class. Noticing that the winds of the mind have calmed maybe just a little bit, so that when you walk off of your mat into your day, whatever you encounter, whatever change, you have this sense of groundedness and fluid breath that you can always come back to. As always, it has been my honor to guide you, and the light within me honors the light within each of you. Namaste. Have an amazing rest of your Wednesday. If you'd like, come back for more. I'm here Thursday mornings, 9 a.m. A little more vigorous practice, but can make it what you'd like. Have an amazing rest of your day. And if you have any questions or comments, my name's Brenda. Hope to see you again soon. You're welcome. Thank you to you at home. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.